Hello, concerned citizens. We have a special guest today. That guest is Mica Burton. You know her from Rooster Teeth's The No. You know her from 100-Foot Robot Golf and various other VO and acting works. And if you'd like to hear more from Mica, including what's going through her head right now and giving her concerns, we have a special episode just for patrons. You can head to patreon.com/wehaveconcerns to listen to it or find out how to get it. Because the wife didn't
You
get to
liked
go
it a
see
lot
with
more than me.
I did like it a lot more than you.
Yeah.
But, you know, there's no accounting for taste. This is We Have Concerns. Hi, Jeff Cannata.
Hi, Anthony Carboni.
Hello, concerned citizens, and hello to our special guest joining us in the anxiety chamber. You know her from The No. You know her from 100-Foot Robot Golf, if you're any good at anything. Mica Burton is here.
Hi there. I didn't know this was the anxiety chamber, and now I'm anxious.
Yeah, see? You feel it.
I felt it immediately.
You don't know it, but you feel it.
Yeah. Yikes. Oh.
Yeah.
But it's okay, Mica, because we're not going to talk about an anxious story. We're going to talk about a good story, a sweet story.
Oh.
A story that you actually picked.
I did.
It was sent to us by Jeff Rose over on the Reddit. That's reddit.com. Or we have concerns.reddit.com.
Jeff _Rose, I bet.
I bet it is.
Yeah.
But you know what? Rob took out the underscore because we're on to Jeff's fucking code. We know that Jeff _Rose isn't just one name. We figured it out, Jeff.
Yeah, it took us a while. We ran it through the computer.
You thought you were running the long con on us.
No, we got you.
This is a story that is very important. Maybe the most important story we've ever discussed.
I would say world-changing.
World
Oh my God. I can't wait to find out. Is it global warming? Is it...
Nope.
Is it some sort of denuclearization?
You're getting closer.
No.
Okay, what are we talking here?
There. Jeff, we're talking about at what age puppies are scientifically their most cutest. At what age?
No, I would have gotten there eventually.
Yeah, you were close.
Yeah.
Like I said.
It was actually going to be the next one, probably.
Yeah, probably the next one. Which age puppies are their most cutest?
Yeah, the most
I would assume
cute.
right when they're born. When they're most puppy.
No. They look like larvae when they're first born.
Oh,
Have you never
larva.
seen like a first shot out of the cooter puppy?
I don't mean like
That's what they call it. in veterinary
still damp
knowledge.
from birth. I don't mean like
Sticky with afterbirth. That's the cutest puppy right
In
there.
veterinary college, they call it straight from the cooter.
Duh.
I will grant you that I said as soon as they're born, but I didn't mean that.
But even still.
Well, what did you mean?
Yes.
I mean, as young as you can be and still be, dry and fluffy.
So you mean pre-opening of the eyes puppies?
Well, no, you got to have eyes. I guess you're right. I guess this is a way more complicated question than I originally
Thank
anticipated.
God science is here.
Right. You're clearly not well-versed in pupology.
I am not.
Well, think about it this way, Jeff. You probably sent your family photos of your children immediately after they were born.
Yeah, straight from the cooter.
Straight from the cooter. But you probably waited a little bit to
that's
post
true.
the public picture
Mhm.
because babies come out as weird pink cone heads.
Yeah,
That
they
is
do.
not inaccurate. That is absolutely the case. In fact, we got professional photos of my first baby
Mhm.
like days after he was born, and he looks nothing like that person anymore.
Yeah.
And
It
in
looks
fact,
it looks like when they do the flashback to the baby Grinch in the Jim Carrey
God.
version of the Grinch.
Nightmare fuel.
yeah, and now we learned this time with the second one that we waited on the professional photos
Wait
because
like
that's just
13,
money. You're just
14
throwing
years.
money. Yeah, you're throwing money back in the cooters. What you're
If they're
doing.
Right.
if they're too young to have their picture taken on a cool laser background,
Yeah.
don't get the picture taken.
Also, they just have an extreme smush face when they're so small.
Yes.
And it's just unfortunate.
They don't. If they're. That's how you know if it's a C-section baby because they don't have that smush face.
Really?
Yep.
Interesting. I've learned so many things about cooters today.
And that's what we're here for. Anyway, this story is about dogs. So here's what's up. There are roughly 1 billion dogs on the planet. And yes, National Geographic does put in parentheses, roughly, RUFFLY for
Thank you,
Jeff.
National
Good.
Geographic.
Bunch of fucking
Thank
Jeffs
you.
working over there. There are 1 billion dogs on the planet. 85% of the world's dogs are feral.
Really?
Like,
I would
as
not have thought
in,
that.
would give me nips on the hand if I went in for some ear scratchies?
Yeah,
Or-
maybe. Just wild dogs. They don't have
Oh.
any owner.
So what you're saying is that whatever 85% of, what was it, 1 billion, 5
Yeah.
billion however many dogs.
So
I need a giant farm.
850 million.
Yep, I need a giant farm for all these feral dogs.
So
Come to my house.
Yeah.
So let me. So am I to believe that there are giant, just packs of feral dogs roaming the wastelands of the world?
Yes.
Apparently.
Dogs
Where
run
is
in
this?
packs.
Yeah, where is this land and where can I go and visit?
Well,
I don't think that they would be nice to you. Would they be nice to you?
If I had bacon, they'd be hella nice.
You always have bacon.
Yeah.
my two favorite groups of feral dogs, because I have favorite groups of feral dogs.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm that guy. Number one are the Moscow subway dogs.
Ooh, I've seen pictures of them in like really cool, artistic National Geographic magazines.
Yeah. Where they said roughly.
Yeah,
The
nice.
same people who said that took very artistic photos of these dogs.
They
that,
said, we're rushing to show you these dogs.
They live outside of Moscow. Okay, they in these forests.
Because who can afford to live in Moscow these days?
Of course not. Like it's just the hipsters are moving in and they're pushing the locals out.
That's right.
It's a real problem. But they live like 30 minutes outside of Moscow in sort of nature, but they ride the train into Moscow every
Yeah, they
day
But you got to
do.
commute somehow.
to City Square.
Because these dogs can't get driver's licenses.
They beg, borrow, and steal food, and then get back on the train and ride out to the woods to sleep at
Do
night.
you think?
Educated doggos.
Do you think all of these tramps have ladies?
I hope so.
Because it sounds like a bunch of tramps.
It does. Have you ever seen Lady and the Tramp 2 Scamp's Adventure? Now that is a good film.
No, tell me the whole story from start to finish
I
right
don't
now.
really need the whole story of Scamp's Adventure right now.
Oh, come on. Scamp's Adventure is a solid film.
I might put the kibosh on the entire. I might direct people to the IMDb or Wikipedia
Anthony doesn't
page
like us
for
to have any
Scamp's
fun.
Adventure.
Clearly.
There's no fun on the science podcast. My other favorite are the Chernobyl dogs. There are dogs that have been in Chernobyl that were descended from family pets. They've been, just living their dog lives,
Right.
breeding, multiplying, hanging out.
But now they have superpowers.
Yeah, they're
Living
the
like-
X-Men.
Living like
Yeah.
Scamp.
Yes.
But people aren't allowed to remove them from the area because you're not allowed to remove wildlife from Chernobyl because it may be irradiated, even though
Right.
it's not.
Or are they controlling your minds to make you think that?
Yeah, I can't remember how I got to Chernobyl to pet the dogs, but I just knew that I had to pet the dogs.
You know what
That's
that
it.
you know what that dog is? Professor Rex.
Oh.
Boom! Yeah,
Oh,
baby!
man.
You
That
think
was
just because
awful.
National Geographic does it, this makes you smart now?
It's science. That's science. National Geographic's is science.
I need to find some negative reinforcement. Much like a dog,
Yeah.
you've been given too much positive reinforcement
Yeah.
for your bad
Don't
behavior.
flick them on the nose.
Don't
That's how you
do
do it.
Ow! Ow!
No
Ow.
puns.
Oh.
So here's what's up. 85% of the world's dogs are feral, 850 million of them running around. When pups are between 2 and 3 months old, their mothers just abandon them. Good luck. Be a dog.
Awful.
For a dog, that's like going off to college, though.
Oh, okay.
It's like,
Fine.
good luck. You're a dog now.
Oh, all right.
Just quit eating all my food. With no mother to watch out for them, the infant mortality rate of pups under 1 year skyrockets to about 90%.
This is supposed to be a happy story.
Just
What
like-
happened?
Just like going off to college.
Yeah.
See, it's
Everybody-
except everyone dies.
Look to your left, look to your right. Only one of you will survive the semester.
That one's going to overdose on ramen. That one's probably going to fall off a frat house balcony.
Right.
You're going to survive.
So, without mothers, how do these infant dogs survive in the wild?
Ooh.
What
Sounds
makes
like
them
they
survive?
don't.
Me. They're really cute and everybody loves them and gives them food.
Exactly.
Oh.
Cuteness is their superpower?
Cuteness is it, man. Science says that if they're cute enough, puppies can make it by tricking humans into adopting them or supporting them. It's Lady and the Tramp all the way down.
It really
It's
is.
Scamp's Adventure, baby.
It is.
So you're
Which, by
telling
the way,
me
we cannot go into what Scamp's Adventure is about, Jeff.
I would just want to know
No,
from start
now
to
I'm
finish.
dying to
I'm going
give
to put
the
a link
whole-
down below, but we just don't have time to get into it. But it's total Scamp's Adventure.
Oh man.
A new study published in the journal Anthrozoos kind of detailed the findings of how these dogs stay alive.
This is literally our position, science, that they evolved to be cute so
Yep.
we wouldn't kill them.
Listen, man, I know a lot of people that evolved to be cute, and I don't know how they're still alive other than they're cute.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? This
it
works.
works for humans too.
This works all throughout the fucking animal kingdom.
Well,
Yeah.
have you heard about those Shibas in Japan that sometimes bring leaves to vendors and because they see humans giving money?
Yeah,
And then the vendors will give them food.
because it's hilarious and cute.
Yeah, like
Wow.
you would have to be a heartless douche to see a Shiba with a leaf in its mouth pop his legs up and be like, "Excuse me, sir, can I have some food?"
I would like to exchange this for goods and services.
Exactly. I would go broke that day because I would just give the sheep all of my food. And
Yeah.
be like, you know what, my dude, you win.
Yeah, and then the sheep goes to his other sheep friends, and he's like, "Fucking took a leaf."
this
She's
dumb
so
son of a bitch,
stupid.
right?
I know it's not, but for some reason, sheep sounds like a dog slur to me, and I don't want us to say it anymore. Like Sheba's not so long that we have to like truncate it. It just makes me feel strange.
We apologize
why.
formally to the Shiba community. We do not need to use sheep the slur.
I'm picturing just the Shebas that have learned Twitter from watching
Yeah, the
humans.
Shebas are like, we can say it.
Yeah,
you
can't.
We've learned to complain about podcasts from watching everyone that does it.
They've evolved from leafs to Twitter. Oh no, they're learning.
But Japan is like that though. Like you've got the deer in Nara that will bow to you.
Or bite your ass when you don't give them cookies.
Yeah,
yes, that happened to me.
Yeah, they've learned a lot.
What?
Yeah.
So if
Tell
you
me
go to
that
Nara,
story. Okay.
yeah, sure.
Well, no, so if you go to Nara, there's deer and you can buy these cookies for them, and they're so used to humans that they see the cookies and they're like, I can eat those.
Right.
So these two deer work in tandem, and one came up to me and was like trying to be cute, and I wouldn't give him cookies, so the other deer bit my ass.
Why didn't you give him cookies?
Well, because I was trying to get it out. They're like tied up, and so I was like trying to hand it to him. The other deer bit me, and then when I was turning around to go, hey, what's wrong with you? That other deer stole the cookies and they ran off together. And I was like,
that is a classic scam. That is
also, these deer need to learn that not everyone gets a cookie.
Right.
Well, everyone does if you run that sweet scam.
Yeah.
That's like the sting.
It
But
really
they will,
was.
it's funny. They will like bow to you. They've watched people bow to each other.
Huh.
And so they come up and they bow to you and you give them a cookie and they bow to you again and then they walk away. And they give everybody tick disease, like Lyme disease.
Yeah. I probably have Lyme disease right now because I was bit.
They actually, it's not Lyme disease, but there is something that, because we're thinking about going to Japan later this year, and I didn't go to Nara last time I was there. And my wife was like, these deers look like they have ticks. And I was like, all deer have ticks, but I don't think they have ticks the way American deer have ticks. I looked it up. Yeah, people are getting sick from these deer.
To really protect my
Yeah,
health.
layers upon layers.
They're like long sleeves and stuff. So anyway,
This is all-
cuteness.
Yeah.
Cuteness is the weapon.
Sounds like cuteness is a weapon.
It is.
So Texas Tech University brought in 51 college students and asked
They
them
all
to,
got Lyme disease.
asked them to rate the attractiveness of headshots of puppies at different ages. Just a bunch of casting directors coming in, giving all these terriers fucking complexes about their physical appearance.
Yeah.
A year later, the terriers have lip injections.
Oh, no.
Not cool, man.
Ear tucks.
Yeah.
They're getting highlights in their fur.
These dogs are like, I don't know, I'm reaching 2. And once you reach 2 in this industry,
Oh, it's over.
it's over.
Yeah.
So the participants were asked to judge the puppy's attractiveness rather than cuteness because they wanted to they didn't want to nudge people towards infantile features. They were like, which dogs are the most attractive dogs?
That's edging on something really inappropriate.
I don't like
there.
this study already.
Yeah.
So the researchers thought that people would find pups the most attractive between 2 and 3 months old because that's around weaning age. So that's when the puppies are abandoned by their mothers and they need another caretaker to survive. Do you think they were right?
Well, the way you set that up, I'm going to say no, but
Yeah. I feel like older puppies were probably more attractive.
The hypothesis was correct in this situation.
oh.
Really?
They were right. The pups based on breed peaked at different ages, but they were all ranked the most adorable between 6 and 8 weeks, right when they would have been abandoned.
Literally, science has made dogs the cutest so they can survive because of abandonment.
Well,
Like,
babies do it too, right? Like we've learned that like
How come they're not cute to their moms?
they
right?
are cute to their moms.
But their moms are like, you're old enough.
That's
Listen.
tough love.
I was real cute to my mom, but she still kicked me out of the house because eventually,
Fair.
like, dude, you can't live here anymore. Like, you can't, like, it's weird.
Yeah.
Like, you
Right.
gotta go. I mean, this was 2 years ago. Like, I was married.
Yeah, I know.
And my mom
And
was
you-
like, you have a home.
You were not
have
at
a
your
wife.
peak cuteness. You had already declined.
Definitely not at peak cuteness.
So all of these dogs are playing dead or alive extreme beach volleyball in their mom's basement. Their moms are like, you got to get out.
You gotta get, I returned like 2 monster.com listings today, Mom. Like, I'm getting out there. There's just no one's hiring. Anyway, I need money for loot boxes. Jack Russell Terriers are the cutest at 7.7 weeks.
All right.
Cane Corsos are the cutest at 6.3 weeks. White Shepherds are the cutest at 8.3 weeks.
This is very useful information, so I know exactly when to put my dogs down. Because once they get past that 7.7 weeks, it's like you've exceeded your usefulness.
Yeah,
you will never be as cute as you are right now. So
time to die.
Yeah, you want to be like one of those Instagram models that seemingly has a new pup every 3 months.
Right.
And you're like, what happened to that old dog you left in your like
slightly less cute than it was.
I just didn't have time in my life. I wish I did. I just didn't have the time to raise it. It was a real responsibility. And then like 3 months later, you're like, you've got another dog in your bag.
Yeah.
What's changed?
This one's cute.
Nothing.
This one's
This
cute.
one's cuter.
Yeah.
So there are some contenders to this study. There are some other people in the scientific community that say, hold up.
Yeah. I want to hear from those people.
Yeah. So Harold
Hold
Herzog.
up. This is a horrible study.
Hold up.
Who was the headshot photographer?
Yeah,
right.
What's going on with
some
this?
photographers are just not up on the latest trends.
Yeah.
Right.
And no
just
matter
want-
what they do, your headshot's going to look like 2 or 3 years behind the times.
I want one scientist to come forward and be like, excuse me, every doggo is a good boy.
Yeah.
How dare you?
There
I
you go.
ran my own numbers, and you're all monsters.
Fuck all of you.
They're all cute in their own way.
Yeah.
Harold Herzog, who is an expert on human-animal interactions at Western Carolina University,
That's a thing.
says the study is brilliant, but could be tweaked.
All right.
He said it would be really great for the study to be replicated using actual photographs of the same dogs as they aged through that period.
Oh, long-term
Right?
study.
And
Yeah.
it's focusing on one dog, so it's more of a controlled study.
Some
I
dogs
see,
are
I
late
see.
bloomers. Some dogs get more distinguished as they age.
Yeah.
Some dogs couldn't get a date in high school. And guess what? Guess what? Fucking water polo team. I did just fine.
Remember
I did
that dog
just fine.
you made fun of in high school? Well, this is him now.
Yeah. You hated that dog because he was on the school newspaper and he was a photography nerd and he liked to draw cartoons and you thought he was stupid and lame. But guess what? That dog fucks.
Is this dog's name Anthony?
I don't know what the dog's name is. This is a hypothetical. But
Gotcha,
yeah, we
right,
could
sorry.
call him Anthony.
Anthony Carbone.
Stop
Oh.
it. Stop it. Another flick in the nose.
Ow, hey.
So yeah, I think this tracks. I look back at photos of my dog. My first professional photos of my dog were taken when he was around 9 or 10 weeks old, which is just like a little bit past the period.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But you know, it's not. I can't imagine it's that sharp of a decline.
Right.
And let me tell you something, man. I look at those photos and I'm just like, I would let that fucking dog. I would give it anything. I would do anything for it. And it's
Right?
true. I did because that dog chewed up like literally everything in my house.
Right.
And I was just fine with it.
I think that because I agree with that. I used to have a toy poodle, and when she was like, when we first got her, that tiny little teddy bear phase,
Mm.
like I loved her obviously through all of her adulthood, but there was something about that, like everything was smaller, but her eyes were so big and
Yeah.
her ears didn't quite fit on her head. It was just like, oh my God, I would like give my soul to keep you alive. You're just so precious and helpless.
And that's babies.
Two things.
Your
Yeah.
babies are worthless, Jeff, and you love them so much.
Well, not that much. No, I do.
Not
I
as
One
love
of
much
them's
as
getting
dogs.
older.
It's past peak cuteness. He's almost 2. Yeah, my question is why this study? Like why? And B, it does seem like we could do the same study for humans.
Oh,
We
yeah.
could. Yeah. I think the why of this study is just because these people are human-animal interaction specialists and we're trying to find out things about our relationships with animals and how intelligent animals are and what the emotional reciprocity is between us. I think it's kind of like for that group of scientists, this is a very important thing.
Yeah.
Like why do we bond to these animals, right?
No, I think that, I mean, you joked about my kids, but I have a newborn right now, 3 weeks old.
Worthless.
And were she not adorable, we would flush her down the toilet. I mean,
Yeah.
it is an almost impossible human ask to take care of a thing that is mewling and crying and destroying your life at every given moment. So there has to be some connection there that says, oh, this thing needs me. And you know, there's something primal to that.
Right.
Now what you're talking about is called Kinderschema.
They're always scheming against me,
Yes.
the Kinders.
You remember it was when they did like Hogan's Heroes babies.
Right.
And it was the Kinderschemas. Ask your grandparents about Hogan's Heroes. I only know about it because I'm from a Jewish family. So basically, Kinderschema means There are characteristics that humans find particularly adorable across all species, including ourselves. Big forward-facing eyes, floppy and unstable limbs,
Yeah.
and a
Oh, so
soft,
cute.
So cute.
rounded body shape. That's your kid.
Yeah, it's also me sometimes.
That's your flabby-ass, weird-looking kid.
yeah, she's so flabby.
She's so flabby. We're also keen to squeal when animals have large heads in comparison to their bodies.
Yeah.
How do they hold it up?
It's so good. And then when they trip over themselves, you're like, oh.
It's because their giant head is too giant. How do you So
Yeah.
So it's kind of interesting because it also, in researching this, tells us that this is a behavior that we have, that all other animal species have as well.
Mhm.
So it's kind of cool. It's another thing that we have that makes us the same as every other animal on the planet.
Too
I just
cute to
find
kill.
it super interesting that the dogs have actually learned that I have this thing that I can use to survive.
Yeah.
Like they're not just lucking into food or help or getting adopted. Like they know somewhere in their dog brain, I should use this.
Yeah.
And they will take me.
I would love to see the next study be something like, at what age? Like, we've learned now that babies know to use their cuteness and know to lie around like 18 months of age.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Crying gets attention.
Yeah, I would love to know how soon a dog plays on your feelings of cuteness about, because my dog does it.
All the
My
time.
dog does it all the time, and I can tell.
Mm.
So it'd be interesting to see when they start, sort of like Scamp's Adventures. But
Tell me the
Yeah.
story, start to
Unfortunately,
finish.
we don't
What
have
is it?
time.
Unfortunately, we're out of time.
Oh, but you guys, I want to
we'll
know.
leave
the-
a link to the IMDb or the Wikipedia about Lady and the Tramp 2, because it's a great movie, Jeff.
But what is it
We
about?
cannot
we don't
tell
have
you.
time for it.
We'd love to know if you have noticed this, what age you think animals are cutest at. Do you go nuts for puppies and puppy videos, or do you like an older, more distinguished dog?
The Sean Connery of
The
dogs.
Sean Connery of dogs.
But
Yeah.
to be fair,
And
every dog is a puppy to me.
every dog.
Every dog is a puppy.
He's a
Every dog is a
puppo.
puppy.
You can let us know on Twitter. I'm at A Carboni.
I'm at Jeff Canada.
I'm at Mica Burton.
And you can hashtag those,
Every dog is a puppy.
Or hashtag good boys.
hashtag good boys with a Z.
Yep.
Gotta
Good
put that
boys.
Z in. Good boys.
Good boys are wild boys.
Mica Burton, if people
Hi.
want to keep up with you other than your Twitter, where can they see you? What can they do?
They can also find me Instagram.com/Mica Burton. You can find me anywhere just under Mica Burton.
Yeah.
My brand is my name. I am my name. I am my brand. That got really deep really fast.
Definitely check out the Instagram. Mica is also a cosplayer, and she does
Yes.
amazing cosplay. If
Oh,
that's your
And
thing.
we have more of Mica. If you are a patron to our show, we have a double-length episode with Mica talking about something that she's concerned about.
Yep, that's available for anybody who is a patron at the $1 a month level or more. It also helps us continue to make the show. That's patreon.com/wehaveconcerns if you want to listen to that.